Akwaaba, welcome back on the mat today. Yeah, it's good to be here. My name is Mark, and this is Akwaaba Yoga on Sunday, the 7th of May. Hope everyone's been keeping well. As I put in the notes, technically it's summertime, it's still a bit grey here in London. Yeah, let's get cracking. Don't know how you're feeling. My legs are a little bit tight today, so I'm going to try and incorporate a few more stretches onto the legs. Welcome, B. Good to have you join us. Let's start in a seated pose. So come maybe sitting on your backside, with legs crossed, maybe on your shins. Well, let's start by just coming into stillness and all, just arriving together and being present here on the mat. Hopefully the headphones don't cut out like they have been over the past couple of occasions. Ooh. Just place your hands, your arms somewhere where it's comfortable. Just roll the shoulders back so you're sitting a bit more upright. Just lift your chin off your chest, close your eyes, and just start taking your surroundings. Become aware of the sounds, become aware of the mat underneath your legs, underneath your bum. If there's any distractions wherever you are, just acknowledge them, but don't feel as if they can define your mood, define your energy. Start to detach from the outside noises and become centered. Maybe take note of your chest, just raising and collapsing as you're taking your breath in and out. In through the nose, into the lungs, deep into the belly, and exhaling out slowly. On each exhale, just feel as if you're relaxing that much more into the shoulders. You're softening into the trapezius, your shoulders. Maybe to maneuver your jaw clockwise and anti-clockwise. If you feel like you start to slouch again, just consciously roll your shoulders back so you're sitting up again on your sit bones. If your eyes are closed, let's just blink them open. On the inhale, let's all sweep our arms up towards the ceiling, taking the gaze in between the hands as we look towards the ceiling. Start to drop the left hand down towards the left hand side. We can reach an up and over with the right arm. So as they'll just collapse into the left side. We're trying along with that right arm and go up and over. So we're finding a stretch for our intercostal muscles through the right side of the body. On each inhale, take the breath into the right side. Just relax the neck. Let the left ear drop towards the left shoulder. And then start to bring that right arm down towards the left front diagonal. Sweep it in front of the body. Place the right hand down into the right side and take the left hand up this time, up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up towards the left hand. Nice and long through the left side. Start to bend into that right elbow and coming up and over. Taking a stretch this side into the left side of the body. Swoop the left arm down towards the front diagonal on the right side. Bring it across the front of the body. Place the left hand down. Again, accept nice and tall through the spine. Take both hands and place them maybe on the thighs or on the knees if it's there within reach. I'm going to come into a seated cat and cow. So I'm going to undulate through the back. So start to bring the chin towards the chest and round the upper back. Feel as though you're pressing your spine towards the back of the room. And on the next breath, start to use the resistance of the hands to draw the body through. Bring your chest through the arms, lift the chin off the chest, take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale to round. As you bring the chin back towards the chest, and just keep that going. So just finding movement through the spine, flowing with the breath. Take a deep breath in. Just lift the chin off the chest, take the gaze up. And on the exhale, let's come back towards a neutral spine. Lovely. You're going to turn and face the front of the mat. So I'm going to move the block, come up your bum. I'm going to come into Balasana, our child's pose. Let's take the feet together and the knees apart. Just bring the bum down towards the heel, so don't have to touch. Again, we're not competing with ourselves here. Just come into a comfortable seat position and then start to take the arms towards the front of the mat. You start to bring the chest down towards the thighs. To shake out through the hips, see if you can find a little bit more room. And then just let the head flop down. Just take it to wherever it goes. You may find that the forehead is hovering off the floor. It may be touching the floor. If you want to bring a cushion into the forehead, feel free to take your fists, take your hands into a fist, place one fist on top of the other, and just place your forehead on top of your fists. Just close your eyes. On each inhale, feel your belly pressing against your thighs as you're consciously becoming aware of your breath here. And on the exhale, feel the air escaping the lungs, your chest. Exhales out the breath. Deep inhale in and exhale out. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep inhale in. On the next exhale, again, let's consciously become aware of our shoulders softening. Let go of any stress, any worries from the week. Just sigh it out through the mouth. On the next inhale, let's all press up and come into a tabletop. So our hands are stacked underneath our shoulders. We're taking our knees and our feet hip distance apart. We're going to curl the toes under here. Press our hands into the mat. Lift the knees off the floor. Start to take the tailbone high. Lengthen out through the legs, downward facing dog. You might be high on your toes here, which is all good. Wherever you are, just let's start to walk out through the legs and lifting up one heel at a time. As we find a stretch into our calf muscles. Taking a gaze towards the mat. And on the exhale, let's start to energetically draw our heels down towards the floor. Again, the heels don't need to touch the floor. We're just energetically drawing them down. Press our hands into the floor. See if we can lengthen out through the arms. You may keep a bend into the knees or lengthen out through the legs. Gaze is now towards the back of the mat. So on the next inhale, come up higher to the toes. Let's jump or step. Together, let's meet at the front of the mat in our forward fold. So the arms, the head is heavy. Swaying from side to side. So maintain a bend in the knees here. Just let the torso relax. You're letting gravity take control here. So we're finding length through the back of the legs just by hanging loose, by hanging heavy. If you're swaying, let's come into a stationary position, the feet hip distance apart. On the next inhale, let's place our hands on the shins. Inhale to come into a halfway lift, lengthen out through the arms. Take the chest, so it's parallel to the floor. The gaze always towards the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins, lengthen out through the arms. Rolling the shoulders back, gaze towards the front of the mat. Just draw the belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Again, I'm keeping a slight bend in the knees. Feel free to do so. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. On the next breath, let's start to roll up one vertebra at a time, ever so slowly, just keeping the torso heavy, the arms, the head dangling. Slowly come to a upright position. Let the shoulders roll back. Lift the chin off the chest, face the palms forward. Maybe close the eyes here, the feet are hips distance apart, and we're meeting into Tadasana, our mountain pose. Just feel grounded through the soles of the feet. Maybe use your toes, the sole of the foot, just to massage the floor. So we're bringing awareness to our feet. On the next inhale, let's swoop the arms up. Bring the hands into prayer at the top. Take the gaze towards the hands, pointing towards the ceiling. On exhale, draw the hands into the center of the chest. On the next breath, inhale, take the prayer high. Long in the body. On the exhale, we're bending from the hips as we come down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend into the knees, so swoop the arms up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up towards the hands, bring the hands into prayer. And draw the hands to the center of the chest on the exhale. Let's go again. Deep inhale in as the prayer goes high. Exhale, bend it from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out through the arms, hands on the shins. Deep breath in, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's again take the arms up towards the ceiling, bring the hands into a prayer. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Let's let the arms drop down towards the sides. Again, we're coming into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. From here, let's start to take the weight into our right foot. So we're starting to feel light on the left foot. On the next breath, just start to lift that left leg up. Lift the left foot off the floor. We're playing with our balance here. Again, you might fall out. If you do, let's just come back into the pose at your own time. So we're lifting that left knee, so it's coming towards a right angle. It may not be at a right angle. Again, we're just going to our edge. And then we're going to start to seesaw the body forward. So keeping our arms towards the sides, the palms facing forward. We're coming into a Superman, super bicep position here. So we start to bring the chest so it's parallel with the floor. Let's lengthen out through that left leg. So it's pointing towards the back of the room. We're going to drop down onto the left toes. So come into a high lunge. So taking a bend into that right knee. Maybe taking the right knee so it's coming towards the right angle. You probably see I'm not quite there. There's a large angle in my knee. So I'm just going towards my edge. We're lengthening that through that back leg. So we're pointing our heels. We're pressing our left heel towards the back of the room. Engaging through the left quad. Just drawing the lower belly. So we're nice and long in the torso. Again, we're playing with our balance. If we fall out, feel free to come back in. On the next breath, we're going to swoop the arms up towards the ceiling. Keeping the arms either side of the ear. We can maintain the upright position, or alternatively, can drop down onto that left knee. Feel free to come to either variation. For number 2, another 1. If you're in an upright position, let's all drop onto that left knee. We're going to place our hands on top of our right thigh. The left heel is off the floor. I'm going to start to bend into that right knee and draw the hips towards the mat. And so coming into stretch into our left hip flexor. So feel free to keep the hands on that right thigh. Also creating an opening in the hips here. Should you wish, maybe place that left hand just on top of the left sacrum. So just helping our hips to come a bit closer towards the mat here. Another 2. Another 1. Let's place both hands on that right thigh. We're going to start to lengthen out through that right leg. Start to lift the right toes off the floor. Come to that right heel. Come to a stretch down to that right hamstring. So let's bring both hands to the floor. We're energetically drawing our chest towards the right shin. Feel free to walk the hands forward on the mat. If, again, hands aren't quite reaching the mat, feel free to use any props. So I've got my water bottle and a block here, just to help the balance. But again, we're just walking the hands forward and energetically drawing the chest down towards the right thigh to come into a stretch into that right hamstring. Another 2. Another 1. Start to come into a bend into that right knee. Walk the hands forward onto the mat. Just gracefully or ungracefully, as you may see. Myself, we're going to place both hands on the inside of the right foot and just swing that right leg back, maybe shuffle it back. However which way we find ourselves, we're going to meet together on our tabletop. Our hands and knees and our feet, our hip distances apart. We're going to curl the toes under, press our hands into the floor, lift up through the tailbone, downward facing dog. Together, let's all come high on the toes. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're energetically, again, drawing our heels down towards the mats. Lengthen out through the arms, take the gaze towards the back of the room. On the next breath, let's all come high on the toes. Jump, step, or hop, walk. Let's all meet at the front of the mat in our forward fold. Inhale, halfway, lift hands on the shins, lengthen out through the arms. So you roll the shoulders back, take the gaze towards the front of the mat. Draw in the lower belly on the exhale, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. On the next breath, let's bend into the knees and swoop, elevate the arms up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up in between the hands. Deep breath in as we bring our hands into prayer at the top. For drawing our hands to the center of our chest on the exhale. Lovely. Let's drop the hands down. So once again, we're coming into our Tadasana. The palms are facing forwards. So this time we're going to take our weight into the left sole of the foot. Start to feel light in the right leg, the right foot. Start to float that right leg up. Again, just play with balance as your right foot is coming off the ground. You may hover just a couple of inches. You may bring it to a 90-degree angle. Whichever which way is our pose for today. Hold for another 2. Another 1. You can start to come to that superhero pose. So we're bringing that right leg towards the back of the room. We're bringing our chest so it's parallel with the floor. You can take a bend in that left knee if it helps with a balance, or engage with the left quad. So nice and strong in that left leg. The right foot's pointed towards the back of the room. And let's all drop onto the right toes. So coming into our high lunge once again. So come into bend that left knee this time. So again, work towards your edge. You may come into a 90-degree angle. Just work out the best position for the body. Remember, we're high on the right toes, pressing our right heel towards the back of the room. So we're nice and long in that right leg. You can keep your hands on your left thigh. As you engage with the core, we're nice and long in the torso. Let's suit the arms up towards the ceiling. We're either staying upright, or again, we're going to drop down to that right knee. In either variation for another 3, another 2, another 1. Let's still drop it to that right knee if we're not there already. Before taking our hands onto that left thigh, we're going to start to bend that left knee as we start to drop our hips down towards the mat. If you wanted to uncurl the right toes, I invite you to do so. So we're coming into a stretch into the right hip flexor. Feel free to take the right hand and place it on the lower back. Another 2, another 1. Let's start to bend. Take the bend out of that left knee. So lengthening through the left leg, bringing the left toes off the mat, curling the left toes towards the face or high in that left heel. And again, either using props or bringing the hands down onto the mat. We're now coming into a stretch into our left hamstring. Take a deep inhale in for the nose. Maybe exhale out for the nose. So starting to explore Ujjayi breath here. So inhaling in for the nose and exhaling out for the nose. On each exhale, see if you can find a bit more space to energetically draw your chest a bit closer towards your left shin. Just listen to your body here. Really trying to find a bit more space in the back of the left hamstring. On your next breath, let's all bend back into that left knee. Let's bring both hands so they sit on the inside of our left foot. And any which way, we're going to swing or shuffle or step that left foot back as we once again meet in our tabletop with this hip distance apart, with the hands, the knees, and the feet. On the next breath, let's curl the toes under, lift the knees up off the ground, press our hands into the floor as the tailbone goes high, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here and exhale out. Let's come high on the toes. Jump, step, walk, shuffle, float. Let's meet the front of the mat now, forward fold. Hands on the shins for a halfway lift, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale to release. Let's start to point the toes out. So the right toes point out towards maybe 1 o'clock. If you've got an imaginary clock on your mat, your left toes are pointing out to what must be, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'm going to start to bend into the knees and bring our bums down towards the mats. You may find that your heels start to lift up off the floor, which is all good. You can use your hands for balance. So use your hands as if they're brakes, just to stop yourself from toppling over. And let's all come down onto our bum, roll back, start to draw our shins, our knees in towards our chest. Start to massage out through the sacrum as you take your knees into the clockwise rotation, and then switch and take it in the opposite direction. Take a final hug in with the legs here. Maybe bring the head in towards the knees. And on the exhale, let's go long in the legs. Bring the head towards the mat. Let the legs, the feet flop out. Take the arms either side of the body. Face the palms up towards the ceiling. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's take one more long, deep breath in through the nose. Breathe, 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 breathe. Hold the breath. And then sigh it out through the mouth. We're going to come into our Shavasana for a few moments with the eyes closed. So with the flow, we've created a bit of openness through the body. If you were in Shavasana, we'll come into a seated position where we'll use that as a place to come to meditation, but whilst we're here in Shavasana, as we did at the start, find a softness in the body. Just become aware if there's any gripping in the jaw, in the hands, in the toes, in the shoulders. If there is, on an exhale, just release that tension. Become aware of the sounds in your immediate environment. And on the exhale, just start to detach away from the noise. Just know that you've made it through another day, another week, another month. Wherever you find yourself right now, know that you're here, having overcome different obstacles and challenges. So let that be the fuel for whatever challenges or difficulties you may be experiencing, that may be forthcoming. Know that you've beaten those challenges before. And that same determination will allow you to overcome them once again. Feel free to stay in Shavasana. On the next breath, let's draw the knees back into the chest. If you can, grab hold of the shins or the back of the thighs to draw the knees a bit closer. And let's rock up into a seated position. Maybe coming into the same position you did at the start, or bring your shins down towards the mats. I'm going to come into a seated position, the legs crossed. Just take a moment to acknowledge where we are, to acknowledge that we've just found time to move our bodies, to come to stillness, to calm the mind, to experience a form of yoga by coming into different asanas. Draw your hands into prayer. Thank you very much. All done. I think we're in a bit over. That was actually half an hour, as opposed to 25 minutes. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session. Grateful that the headphones didn't conk out today. Whoa. Lovely to have you join us. Good to see you Queen P. And thanks again once again, B. Look, have a great week ahead. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you back on a mat in June. June, that's halfway through the year. So make it count. Have a great day. God bless. In a bit. Take care. Bye bye.